Hello and welcome back to another episode of Natural Nerds. Wow, it's been a while. So before we get started, real quick, um, I would just like to apologize and give a big thank you to Miguel, who's been holding down the stream um, for our hiatus. So as he says, sometimes life tells you what to do. Um, I had to put my kitten to sleep. She was a few months old, so it was pretty heavy, and it took me a while to get out of that headspace. And then we got hit with the coronavirus, and it's been a mess. But we're happy to be back. Um, we did have a couple sessions off cam or off Twitch, just among us, just to get back into the flow because it was a while before we got back into sessions. So just to find our characters, find our headspaces for this again, so we could come back clean. So today's recap, if whoever is going to do it, if you can also give just a recap of kind of everything that's happened, a little culmination. Um, we have had um, I'm sorry, we do have a player that won't be here tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, so we have most of the group here. So if everybody can please roll me let's go with a D10. And yeah, we'll jump right into this. Okay, I'll go down the line. Levi,
10.
Flicker,
5.
Calaia,
6.
and Pax.
I also got a 10.
Okay. Calaia, if you could please give her a recap.
Okie dokie. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Or as for the loose part of the beginning, if you go back, we were all summoned here. And while we were being explained why we were here and things like that, we were attacked. Important people were taken, such as Taishar. And so we jumped down this hole to go to another plane. I hate this place. We are surrounded by the ocean and get attacked while we were on a boat by horrible sirens and things like that. We've arrived to an island. Now we are doing what we can to get off the island by finding wood and whatnot to repair a boat that we have found. And Ludwin and Jeremiah are currently working on the boat, and it is going well. During that time, we met the Pirate Queen, and we agreed to help her get a treasure. A cave that has scary rainbow feather dinosaurs. We get there, things go south. At least it was just a baby one that showed up. With smart thinking, we were able to get it to target other things, and sadly its sights were set on Kronk, who destroyed the eggs. Luckily, we were able to get out safely without anything else going down, and we destroyed the opening of the cave so it can't follow us, and now that's where we are. And there was an amazing roar done by Levi, who showed up to help save the day, and Flicker. Road so far.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
You really are the best recapper.
Really. Like, I got a 5. I rolled the lows, and I was like, oh, you gave it to her? Oh, cool. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. I was going with the number I was thinking of, or closest to, and it was 6. So
Oh, gotcha.
Feel like a winner.
I like to switch it up every once in a while. You know?
But it always comes back to Shannon.
Yeah, weirdly. I guess it's a good thing.
Yeah.
RNG gods are good to us. Anyway, so now that the cave entrance has been demolished and the only entrance is blocked off, the creature stuck inside, a sense of calmness comes over you, but sadness as well, as you've just lost a compatriot to the stomach of this thing. I was going to go for a fancy word, but it eludes me at the moment. But having been able to escape that, the treachery, or not treachery, the treacherous mouth of this thing, it gives you some sort of relief. It's later in the evening. I believe it should be about 10 o'clock right now. And the heat of the day starts to come and rise from the ground as the first cold raindrop hits your cheeks. It starts to pick up the water flow from the sky. And it's not a dense, heavy thunderstorm, but it's, it's enough to be, I guess, irritating, you could say. Going from the heat of battle into the cold might feel nice for the moment, but could get old rather quickly. So, that being said, there are the normal roars of this island off in the distance. You hear the slumbering snores of some of the other dinosaurs in the area. The nocturnal birds are out. Little critters scurrying around. How would you guys like to proceed?
DM question, is Pass Without a Trace still up?
Yes, it would be. It lasts about 10 minutes, and you did it pretty much right before you entered the cave, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be up for a couple more minutes.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Calaia
problem.
definitely pulls her hood over her head in irritation at Rain.
Axe is staring off into the distance where he ran and probably is just huddled to his knees to his chest.
Okay. Telemon has followed you and is kind of just patting your back. This tiny little silver mechanical mirror.
DM, how long would it take for us to get back to Ledwin? Or I should ask the group first. I guess I should do it in character. I'm gonna. Is Levi still standing next to me?
Levy
No,
has already started to take the trail back towards the ship in Ludwin. I'm
Okay,
not too far from you at this point, though.
Alright, I'm gonna jog up to Levi and kind of whisper to her. Yeah. Do you think we should bring her back to Ludwin? Or I'm not sure what we should do here. We found her treasure and she said she would help us. So, but not quite trustworthy yet.
I'm going to give him a rather hard look and respond with, you obviously haven't known that little gnome very long if you think he cannot handle someone like her.
Well, you'd be right in that. I don't know all of you very long. But if you think it's good and we can fend off if we need to, then for sure we'll keep her going.
I'm gonna raise an eyebrow and give a small nod and continue back towards the ship. In the same way I came, or, well, not as fast as I was booking it here on Sylvie. I'll be crouching lower on to Sylvie's back and moving at a fair pace while also trying to stay as quiet as possible, but a little less worried knowing that this bird is trapped. But still being cautious of anything that could still be lurking.
Is there a squishier one?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. Yeah. But since you're not moving at a stealthy pace, it'll be a little bit different as far as DC was.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, so am I doing stealth for Sylvie?
You're on her, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and are we in red or black?
No.
Okay. $18.
Good to know.
Yep, and I will be keeping an active perception as much as
Okay.
possible.
So all of you are heading back.
Yes, and I would be on Finn as well, and I will go to Vraska and offer her to get on as well because she is on foot. So
You're offering Vraska a hand up onto Finn?
yes,
Okay.
just put my hand out. So
Okay. She looks at it for a moment and thank you, but I have my own ride. And she just waves her hand and you hear for a moment just complete silence. The birds stop and then you hear stomping. And this bone, just stark white, tiny, well, not tiny. It's tinier than the one you just saw, but a tiny version of a T-Rex. Just comes stomping through, and it's got a weird tongue. It's just kind of weird that the tongue is even still there, as it's a skeleton. But somehow, I guess, with her magic, she managed to retain that aspect, and it just has its open mouth and stupid tongue flicking out, just as it comes running, and she climbs up on it. And this thing isn't huge by any means, but it's big enough. And she
impressive.
rides off. And with a little smirk, she rides off.
Calaia is thinking to herself, "Oh Lord, that fire boy is going to be very excited when he sees that." And I'll follow, keeping the same pace as everyone, of course.
I shamble my way onto Telemonis and wordlessly follow.
Okay. Flicker, to answer your question, from here it would take, I believe if I remember correctly, it took 4 hours to get from her encampment down here, at a stealthy pace. So I would say at the pace you're going at, probably about 2 hours, to get back to the same area. It's not too far away. So 2 hours, 2.5 hours in that range. So you'll probably arrive back to the ship and Ludwin around midnight or so.
Okie dokie. Cool.
Levi, I assume you're in the lead, correct? Since you were.
Yes, it does seem that way, doesn't
So rear guard and vanguard.
it?
if you'd like to take perception checks from the two of you.
Would Pax be the rear guard?
Yeah, you were.
I imagine so, because I headed off a little before you did.
Mm-hmm. So if you want, you can. That's up to Pax.
No, that's probably what he would do, especially
Sure.
because he's scared fucking shitless right now. Perception at advantage. First was an 11. Second was an 8, so I'll take that 11.
Okay. And Levy?
Yes, that was a 12.
Okay. So the two of you see a lot of rain. No more than there was before, but
I look like
It's,
a very
it's there.
angry mop right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary at the moment. And yeah, Pax, same thing. Even with the paranoia and looking around, you just don't really come to notice anything. Okay. So it'll be the first hour. I'll take a 1 for the second hour if you guys wish.
There's something that Pax would like to ponder as we're just trotting off.
Ponder away, Paxxus. Ponder away.
Is anybody else shaken by the loss of a comrade? Or just
Go ahead.
what the hell just happened?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
At advantage?
Yep.
That is inside. +4, that's a 15.
Okay. So for 15, we'll go down the line and you can tell me or tell us what Pax would notice from that. Reasonably, flicker.
Flicker has seen a lot of death in his travels before. He's a pirate for one. Not really super phased by it, but it was unfortunate for sure. But it also kind of cancels out for what Kronk did to the eggs. So Flicker's not really sure. Kronk could have just been more of a problem later in the future. But he is saddened that he had to go that way.
Levy?
Upon observing Levy's body language, not much is really different. She's still holding herself in the same way. Still very closed off and presumably unfazed. However, you were close enough to her when it happened that you may have caught a slight smirk flutter across her lips in the moments that it happened.
Muted. Calaia?
Calaia does not look very relaxed. She seems very on edge after seeing that happen. She already is very uncomfortable in this kind of territory. And yeah, she definitely has the concept of not wanting to lose more people because strength in numbers, especially in somewhere so foreign. So she's definitely more on edge, like just looking around a lot more and just wanting to get away and safe. Definitely, yeah, you could tell that she, I wouldn't say upset is the word, but disheveled from losing a comrade. Didn't know him well enough to really make it past that, but she definitely feels it in a sense, for sure.
And Grug is too love smitten with Vraska to be phased, I would say. If you'd like, you can always, of course, ask him yourself, but that's how I feel it would be at the moment.
That makes sense.
Right.
Thank you all, and thank you, DM.
No problem. Okay, so second perception check from Levi and Pax for the second hour of travel. Levi.
22.
Okay. Pax.
Natural 20 for a 26.
Oh yeah.
Brava, brava.
Okay. So, off in the not so far distance and the not so close distance, these things seem to be keeping steady pace with the group on each side. Between the two of you, you can gather there's about 3 of these things, just keeping pace quietly, softly in the trees. You have no idea what it is. You can't really make out if they're how big they are or how small they are, but you know that you are being followed and or watched.
Um, um, um,
So while Pax
Ca- ca-
hyperventilates, no, I'm kidding.
Calaia, we are being followed.
And the second I notice it, I immediately turn Sylvie, jump off of her, draw my sword, and say, if you understand my words, step before me now.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation check.
Okay. Oh god. Dirty 20.
Okay. So, from the tops of trees, there's these 3 decently sized monkey or ape-like looking creatures, and they come to the front. They come to the forefront since everybody stopped and they heard you. They have some semblance of understanding and sentience, but they're more just curious as to what's going on. And there's 2 on your right side of this, that's like makeshift path, we could call it, like through the woods. There's 2 on the right side of the troop and 1 on the left side.
So, having my sword drawn, I'm gonna look between them. And then I look at the flaming humanoid that has been traveling with us. You. Flame thing. You are
My name is Winkler. Yeah.
you are from here. That has been established. What are these creatures?
DM.
They're just normal wildlife, like large baboons or tiny apes even.
Would I know them to be like tricksters of any sort, you know?
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, or nature actually.
Okay. Fucking hate this guy. 11.
11. They're not really tricksters. They're just seem, as far as you know, at least information-wise. It's just normal monkey type behavior. They're just curious, following. These are nocturnal monkeys, or apes, I should say. And they're definitely small from the kinds that you've seen of similar make. Um, yeah, make and model. So they have like this, not silver, but like this grayish hair, or fur, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure what they call. Is it fur? Monkeys? Apes? Fur? Okay, yeah, they got fur. Um, yeah, so they have like this grayish, like a dark gray, that looks almost blue depending on the light that's hitting it. Um, really muscular, pretty bulky, but they clearly move quickly and silently. Um, and they're, you know that they're intelligent enough to at least be able to simulate other creatures as far as the sounds they would make through like movement. So they know how a squirrel moves, so they can simulate moving like a squirrel, to off throw either predators or prey, things like that. You do know that they are predators for sure, and very much so go for carnivores. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. They're carnivorous, but they don't seem hostile, and they don't really seem too hungry. So
I relay all that back to Levy.
I'm going to raise an eyebrow at him and glance back at them with a glare. And I stomp my foot and say, "It's time for you to leave."
go ahead and give me an intimidation check.
18.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh, jeez. 13.
Okay. So this thing rips a branch off of the tree and just kind of cocks its head like a cat at you and chucks it like a spear just directly at you. And you manage to see it coming, but your reaction time isn't right there after the heat, after the battle. So it manages to hit you in the side. It doesn't pierce through. It's like seemed like a tiny branch, but it had some decent force to it. Where you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it goes.
I look back at the fire boy. I point my sword at him and say, "You said they were non-hostile." And I turn back to it and I charge.
Please go ahead and roll initiative.
Here we go.
Well, I said they were sometimes not hostile. Ugh.
And I will go down the line.
This dice is going to jail. Fuck off.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Levi.
At least it was for initiative. That's a nat 1 for a 4.
Okay. App is not cooperating with me. for 4. Okay, there we go. I will leave Grug out of it. Flicker.
6.
Okay. Calaia.
16.
Okay. And Pax.
7.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. So, the trees are about the branches they're on are about 15 feet off the ground. So they're compared to where you guys sitting on the mountains. It's kind of like they're just standing directly above you, more or less. It's not too high, as seeing the creature plus approximately 5 foot. So they're not too much higher than you. So the first ape that threw the branch at Levi, is going to hop down and punch you 2 times.
Touche, Abe.
First one is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and then a 12 for the second one?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. So you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing leaps on top of you and Sylvie, tackles you to the ground, and then just punches you and you hops off.
I'm not on Sylvie.
Oh, yeah, you got off and stomped your foot on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So leaps on you, takes you down. Yeah. All right. Calaia, you're up.
Alrighty. The one that attacked Levi, I'm immediately going to take out my longbow and aim at it and fire.
Okay.
That is a 14, 15, 16, 17, 19 to hit.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's 1d8. That is 4, 5, 6, 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
After that first hit, how does it look?
You get it in its side, and it looks down and rips it out, cracks the arrow, drops it on the ground, and it's bleeding pretty bad.
Okay.
Looks like you can't really take a hit too well.
Okay. I am going to use my action surge and fire one more arrow at it.
Okay.
$14 to hit.
14 does hit.
Oh, okay. And that would be 8 max damage.
Nice.
So 11 piercing.
Oh. Okay. So this you shoot an arrow and it hits the exact same spot, piercing deeper into it, and it falls down to a knee, but it manages to kind of pull itself and struggle and push itself back up onto its feet.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
No, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Levi.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so that is E4. Oh, I got a 4. Thank you, Jesus. So 4. So that's 6 healing back.
Okay.
And then can I use like a free action to say something at the monkeys?
Sure.
Okay. So as that one is super hurt, I'm going to look at the other ones too. Leave now if you don't want to die here today.
Okay.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. They kind of just stare back at you and angrily.
Okay.
So one of the ones to the right is up, and it's going to leap down at you, Calaia, since you just shot its friend,
Okie dokie.
and punch you in the face 2 times,
Ho
or attempt to. 17 on the first hit,
It's
and I doubt it, but a 7.
no, that doesn't hit. Yay.
So close, so close. All right, so you take
Almost had it.
you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So it lands down on the ground and then runs over, sprints over to you as fast as it can, and just with full force punches you. Not doing as much as it had hoped.
I'm gonna hiss at it.
It cocks its head. And that is its turn. The second one is going to rip a branch like the other one had and crack it. Look around. And I need... Oh, wait, where's my... There we go. Let's see. Okay. I need Flicker to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okie dokie. Please be a good roll. Dex save 8.
Yes, please. 8?
Yeah.
Oof. Max damage. So, this branch comes flying at you. You're just kind of distracted with the subtlety, or the suddenness, I should say, not subtlety, of this combat. And the ape just landing on Levi, and the other ape punching Calaia. Where you're not paying attention, this branch hits you in the back of the head, or the side of the head, excuse me, and just kind of dazes you for a moment. You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow, what the... You know, I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but not anymore.
And it kind of beats on the chest. Paxxus, you are up.
Axe is a bit twitchy. Watching all of this madness ensue and watching Levi get harried, Calaia engage into combat. Flicker getting walloped in the fucking dome piece. It's a bit much. And it's dark as shit right now. Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Pax is going to just get fed up with all of this and this fucking island, and he's going to stand up above Telemanus's harness straps, and he's going to use the light emblem that he's carved onto his coin, and he's going to raise it high above his head and said, "Here, you shits, go get it!" And he's going to just toss this light coin that's shedding bright light in about 10 feet into the forest.
Okay, go ahead and give me a athletics check to see how far you can throw it.
Would you believe? Oh, let me just. Okay, that'd be in 20, natural 20. The first was the natural. The second was the 4.
That sounds like a lollipop.
Yeah.
So, okay, the one that just threw the branch at Flicker's head, sees it and leaps off, chasing after it. You threw it pretty freaking far, so it got distracted and it is gone. It is now out of initiative.
Oh, okay. How many people are currently engaged in fisticuffs?
2. Calaia and Levi.
How many ape-like creatures?
Oh, 2.
I am going to use my bonus action, get back into the saddle, and
Okay.
creep down and just kind of get as small to Telemanus as possible.
Okay. Um. Okay. Alright. Good to know. Wait. You said you're using your bonus action.
I can't do anything with my bonus action, so I'm just gonna try to just
Oh, okay.
get as
Okay.
inconspicuous as possible.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that'll be my turn.
All right. I like it. Flicker, you're up.
Yeah, you better run. There's more where that came from. I didn't do shit. I'm going to look at the one attacking Calaia, and
Okay.
I'm going to. DM, do you remember if I used all my Planeswalker abilities? I have a proficiency of 2, so.
I only remember you using once.
Yeah, and
Just
I
to give
gave
everybody the
everybody.
armor class boost.
Yeah, okay. Just double checking.
Yep.
So I'm going to use Bolt the Bird, red,
Okay.
and deal direct damage to the monkey attacking Calaia.
Okay.
So everyone's constitution modifiers added. So mine is a +3.
Okay. I'll go down the line. Calaia, what's your constitution modifier?
Sorry, I was muted.
It's okay.
Is +1.
Okay, so that's a 4 total. Paxxus.
What are we sounding off? I'm sorry, I got dealing with cats right now.
It's okay. Constitution modifier, please.
Constitution mod.
Mhm.
It's 3.
Okay, so that is 7 total so far, and Levi,
+2.
9 total. All right, so that is 9 points of bird bolting to the ape.
Awesome.
Would you like to
And
describe
I'm
it?
going.
I was gonna say, I'm really curious what this looks like.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about it. Um, so you see Flicker with his glowiness that he has in his veins from his blood literally being fire. Glow, and it manifests like it kind of like it's going from toes to chest and then fingertips to chest. It's just all going into one place, and you see just this red bird-like entity, not very big. Sorry, my kid's crying.
Suspense.
This reddish orange for you guys. I'm colorblind, so yeah, reddish orange. Uh, uh, small, like almost falcon-like, come out of my chest, and just this red energy, and fucking like a torpedo goes straight to the fucking monkey.
Perfect. And on impact, it explodes this electrical fire almost, and it just surrounds it, and you can see it just like as the ape just gets stunned for a moment or staggered, just dazed. All right, nice. Is that your turn?
And as my action, like I said before, there's more where that comes from, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Okay.
Alright. Please fucking roll good. Ah, that's great. Dirty 20 to hit.
That'll certainly hit.
And that is on a hit, take 1d10. For a 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, 5 fire damage.
All right. So, in his stagger, this bolt just hits him in the chest muscles, and spreads a little light around for a moment, and you can see the real like steel gray of the fur as it gets scorched away for a minute. He's looking pretty beat up, but still standing.
My eyes are flamed over, and I'm just smiling and like bouncing up and down on red. Like, oh, there's more. I'll say it again. There's more. There's a lot more. I'm all fired up. That's my turn.
All right, Levi.
So, straight ahead of me is one of these ape-like creatures. Am I correct? And there is another in the trees?
No, the one that was in the trees ran off following the gold coin that was, or the light.
The one that he just bolted isn't. Oh, it's that one in
No,
melee
that was the
with
one that was
Calaia?
attacking. Yes, and then you have the one that's pretty much just standing over you.
Okay, so I wield my sword. I lay it down directly in front of me, and I look straight in the eyes of this ape. And my eyes seem to curve downwards as smoke starts to billow out of them, and I say, "You've made a grave mistake." And my entire body starts to smoke almost, and I disappear and reappear directly behind it and give it a real good slash. That's 23, but I did have advantage because of my shadow step. Yeah, 23.
Okay, that certainly hits.
Okay. Let me get my d8s out. I should have done this before. Okay. And I'll use, it has double strike automatically on it, so I'll add that. That would be 14 damage. Yep, that is piercing.
Okay. So as you pierce through the back of this thing's skull, through its mouth, it stops for a moment, and then it slides off forward. And then this wispy blue orb comes out of its mouth. And it's kind of like a streamer almost, and it starts to, or like in the anime, how you see like the little spirit come out of it. You watch as the blue wisp floats out of it and then shoots up into the sky and off into the distance.
And everyone who saw this, as I'm pretty sure my back was to the group. You just see me. You don't even so much as see me appear behind it, but you see my onyx black with red lining blade just swipe through this, and I have an eerie calm to myself as my eyes are still in that slant and they're still smoking.
Very nice. Okay. Is that your turn? Okay. Calaia, you're up.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to fire at the one closest to me with my
Okay.
long bow again.
Okay. That would be at disadvantage since you are in melee with it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. I will actually slash at it with my. I'll pull out my scimitar and slash at it with my scimitar.
Okay.
A natural 20. Hey.
That'll do it. That'll hit.
Yes.
He's going around tonight.
So excited. So, all right, let me roll the damage on that.
Not for Flicker.
Oh. So that's 7 slashing damage, so 14 slashing damage altogether.
Okay. How do you want to do this, Calaia?
Okay.
Nice.
So excited. So I haven't gotten off of Finn. So I will just look down at it, pull out my scimitar, and just dial it straight down into the top of its head and lean forward and it's like, told you so. Then rip it back out and watch it fall down to the ground.
And as it falls, another blue wisp pops out of its mouth and then shoots into the sky and away into the distance.
Is there a certain direction these blue wisps are going?
Good question. Go ahead and give me a.
Can I give her advantage because I was going to ask the same thing?
Yeah, sure. As long as you have proficiency in the correct check, that's totally fine. I guess perception is fine here.
I do have proficiency in perception.
Uh, Hold on. Yeah, awareness of your surroundings, keenness of your senses. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage, Calaia.
Alrighty. That'll be 16.
16?
Mhm.
Okay, yes, they are heading in the same direction. So from where you are, it looks like it's heading north or straight left, I'll say. You have your bearing. Yeah, you have your bearings well enough. Yes, it would be northwest. Seems they're heading.
Okay. And I will look around to everyone and point in that direction. Oh, looks like we know where we need to go next. All those lights are going that way. And right over.
DM, would I have any knowledge of what these wisps are?
No, actually.
Okay.
This actually seems something new to you.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I've never seen this before. This is unnerving in a sense. I don't know if we should chase after it's getting quite late and we should probably return to Ludwin.
Oh, not right now, of course, but keep in mind they went that way. I mean, maybe you could try to think of there's something out there, another disgusting island or something.
Well, there's islands everywhere, but I'm not sure exactly where they would go. Like I said, I've never seen this before.
During this conversation, I'm looking between them, and then I look over to Vraska, and I say, "You, who are of the Golgari, you've been on this island? Do you know
Yes.
what that might be?"
No. This is new. I am most intrigued.
I'd like to do an insight check as I try and
Sure.
read her demeanor. "19.
Okay. She's lying.
Okay.
You can tell she's lying. You're not sure what she's hiding though.
So I squint my eyes some at her, and I raise an eyebrow. And I get on Sylvie and continue towards the ship.
All right.
It's about the loss of 1 gold.
It was a worthy cause. Yeah, that was clever. It was good. Okay. So good job, guys. You guys continue on.
Yes, in the same manner as before.
Yeah.
I wish
As
to be
we're
quieter.
Okay. Go ahead
um,
and give me a stealth check, Pax. Oh, sorry. Flicker first, and then stealth check.
I was gonna go stealth too, but during travel I wanted to back down to Calaia and say, um, once you get used to this place, it's not that bad. Very great, fun. Once we get to the mainland, there's way more things to do than just run for your life.
I imagine the mainland will be bigger, so water will be farther away. Now, getting there is what I'm concerned about.
Oh, we'll be fine. I know these seas like the back of my hand.
I don't like being out on the water.
The longer you're out on the water, you'll get your sea legs, I'm sure. Just try to move with the ship.
How am I going to move freely if my legs are water as well?
You'll need to get past that.
You're
Sea
not making me
legs.
feel a whole lot better, but thank you for trying.
Well, suit yourself. I did my best. Don't. Point of advice: don't take everything so literally. Sea legs is just a term.
An interesting term at that. Again, thank you, Flicker. I appreciate the thought.
Oh, you actually said my name.
Eh, getting better.
Wonderful. We're making progress, and I'll just continue forward and make my spell check.
Okay. So
I'll
everybody
continue forward. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and give me your stealth checks, please. Okay. So Levi, since you're in the vanguard.
15.
Okay. Flicker.
16. This dice I'm rolling is actually doing good.
Yes.
Alright. Calaia.
Dirty 20.
Okay. And Paxxus.
At advantage. It's a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh, DM, are we in green?
You are.
Because we're in the forest?
You are in forest. Yep. You're in green. Yep.
Okay.
So you and Calaia would both have advantage, actually.
Oh, shoot. Let me roll that as well then.
16.
Okay.
23.
Okay. Very nice. All right. So, this last hour of travel over to where you left Ludwin and the group, pretty quiet. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing seems to be following you guys. You're moving super quiet, and you get there safely. You can see a significant amount of progress has been made. The cart has been enlarged, one might say, and you see it as the second half of the ship. But it's not painted. It's just still that same dark brown color, just much more massive, and they're working on shaping it to the same proportions and everything as the other half that you had found. And it's unattached. There's they're not fully there yet, but seems by the time the morning rolls around or mid afternoon, you'll be there. Go ahead, Levi.
I immediately, as I am in the front, pick up my pace quite a bit to get there, just at least a few steps before Reska specifically. And I approach Ludwin and Madame Duval and Jeremiah, and I say, I'm unsure of whether she can be trusted. Just be aware, we are bringing the self-proclaimed queen of the Golgari. Here.
They both look and give a nod of their heads, silent nod, and continue working.
When that
Very
happens,
Mhm.
if I notice that she picked up pace and is trying to get there before everyone else, can I just not help it and use my ring of absolutely moderate speed to get there just one step ahead of her?
Jesus
Can't-
Christ.
I just can't help it.
So when I do see her approach as I am discussing this with them, I'm just going to roll my eyes and still say what I said.
Perfect. Yeah. So she gets there just one step ahead of you, but I think that's probably one of my favorite items I've ever created in my life.
It's
Okay,
fucking
so-
magnificent. It's great.
Okay. Anyway, so with that being said, you'll arrive at the ship, Vraska in tow, and you see Vraska look around on her Tyrannosaurus and just nod and head over to the different halves of the ship and specs, and she kind of gets right to work also to help kind of speed up the process, and also making her own modifications. You see her just make like how you saw it in the cave earlier. She makes this little ball of black and green and then throws it into the sky. And you watch the orb fly southwest towards where her home was. And that's it for the moment.
Can I elbow Flicker, like go back to him and elbow him? Like, just get his attention and point at the skeleton T-Rex. We're pretty far ahead. I figured you would enjoy taking a look at that.
Well, I'm not sure how I feel about the remains of dead being written like that, especially a dinosaur.
Well, I mean, it's better than not being used at all.
Well, I feel like
It looks happy. I imagine that thing standing there like a doofus with its tongue out, and like, it looks happy.
It's so doofy. It is so doofy. It is the doofiest, happiest little T-Rex y'all have ever seen.
What amazes me is that it still has a tongue. Normally that goes away.
You're right, that is interesting.
Nonetheless, that's what she prefers. We've seen her bone magic for sure, so probably just reanimated for this purpose.
I want to boop it so bad.
Honestly, reasonable. I do too. So
I was trying to make Flicker do it and not me. I thought this was gonna work.
Oh, so when you said that, I thought you were in character.
Oh, yeah, I gotta boop it. I'm gonna approach it slowly. I gotta do it.
Okay.
And like, I'm used to giant reptiles, even though they're not skeleton. And I'm gonna like just put my hand out.
you're just putting your hand out in front of it.
Like not too close, just like offering. Like I would let it come closer to me. You know, like almost like on How to Train Your Dragon when he's like, "Hey, bud, like look."
Right.
Nice.
Okay. So it looks at it for a moment, and you can't really read its face too much because it's a skeleton, doesn't have too much expression. But it looks like cranky for a moment, and then this massive tongue just hits you, and it kind of
Wow.
pushes you back from the weight of it. Like this thing is huge, and then slobbers all up your entire body, and then
Okay, so considering I myself am covered in fur, I can imagine what that looks like with just like slobber, like just the hair going up with it. Like, oh,
yep.
pull it back, flicker. It also can produce spit, which I wasn't expecting as well.
Well, now you have a massive cowlick going across your entire body.
I was not licked by a cow flicker. I was licked by were you not even watching?
Flicker's just gonna smile and start laughing his ass off. And yeah, that's it.
I will give it a pat on the head. Thank you.
You ever hear a bone T-Rex purr?
It has to be an interesting sound. Lots of cracking, I imagine.
A lot of cracking and chattering, clackling.
I want to look at Baraska because I'm sure she probably notices. Like, does it have a name?
No, actually, I have not come up with one yet. He's new to the family, but I just love him. Yes, I do. And she just like reaches her hand and gives it little scratches under the chin. And he starts like kicking his left foot, just beating the sand, creating like this muddy dust storm since it is still raining.
Please tell me that hits Flicker.
The dust storm? Oh, it's everywhere. Everyone is covered in it.
In dirt, yeah.
Yeah, if you're within a 100-foot radius of it.
No,
Looks
no,
very
no.
angry.
No. That's Raska, tell her to stop, please. Oh.
I'm scared of dirt.
Do you know what's inside of dirt?
Rocks?
Germs. You can
More
get
dirt.
sick, and there's a lot of things.
That being said,
Produce flame and try to go on. Produce flame and try to clean myself off.
Okay, Paxxus will jump to you in 1 second. So as
Got
you
it.
produce the flame, it actually turns it into more solid and bakes it onto you.
Well,
So
this was a
you
bad
now have
idea.
you have like a sand shell armor, almost like Gara.
This is horrible. Cool sounding, but horrible. This is. And can anybody help me?
This is the first time you see Levi actually chuckle.
Is
Just a
the
little
rain
bit,
not
very
washing it
faintly.
off?
I mean, it would have, but you cooked it.
Son of a bitch.
So it takes a minute, but it starts to get wet again and just start to crumble off after a
Well,
bit.
yeah. During that time, Flicker is just freaking the fuck out.
Okay, I love it. All right, Paxxus.
as soon as everybody got into camp, I guess you would say, Pax and Telemanus, Pax would take Telemanus to a more secluded spot and to find like a decent rain flow down some plants to where the collection would be like a steady stream.
Mhm.
And take a freaking shower.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually simple enough. Since you are at the base of hills, that's you kind of wander off into the hills. It's not like anything crazy for sure. As far as like the hillscape, but there's some foliage and things like that. There's like a nice little kind of crystal looking pool in there, in the area, with like just stone, not necessarily a waterfall, but yeah, like you said, the rain just kind of makes this little stream, enough for a minor cleansing. I wouldn't necessarily say bath or shower, but it's
Refreshing.
yeah, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Would this be considered some type of short rest or just a moment of
A moment
ease?
of reprieve. Yeah, a moment of reprieve. Yeah.
Would I be able to make another Litecoin?
Not at this moment, because you will be like if you're standing under there, you're kind of just like bathing almost and just relaxing. But like if you're gonna make a Litecoin, I would say you have to like kind of focus on that over a rest period, like a short rest. So like if when you're traveling on Telemanus, things like that, or if you guys make camp or set up camp and take a rest here, things like that. Or you're not too far from the camp, so I would say, I would think that you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna. It just kind of seems like since you're back at camp, you'll end up taking a rest. So I would say during that time for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to do it low key because everybody. I see. I hear. Flicker laugh off in the distance because he laughed out loud.
Yep.
Just kind of collect my thoughts and just kind of do what I
probably
can.
hear him freaking the fuck out too.
True. I did have a question. How big of a pocket can I make?
How big of a pocket?
Yeah,
Like
I guess that's a thing
a-
that I can do. How big of a pocket can I make?
That's a good question. I'm gonna look that up. Is that just artificer thing, or is that specific to yours?
No, that's
Now we know what
something.
you are.
Oh shit.
Our characters
I heard
don't.
nothing.
Our characters don't.
Yeah.
Our characters don't, but yeah, I was fucking trying to figure out what you were so long.
I did not mean to spill that bag. I'm sorry.
It is okay. But no, this is not the quirk. That's another thing that you gave us.
Oh,
I can make a pocket in anything.
yes. Okay. I was like, I know this one, but for some reason I thought it was part of it was a class feature. Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull that up because that's actually a good one. They're all good. But hold on. What's your item called specifically?
I don't know. That's just that it's in my notes. It's just slap a pocket on anything.
Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was. Never mind. I'm like, I'm there right now. I would say. It's funny because I put my hand in my pocket and I was gonna say this big, but you can't see that. So it's like you know what? Let's see. That's like a 6-inch.
How many bananas can you fit in it?
No.
Now we all need to know.
That's fair. Okay, so that's about. So we'll do like a 10-inch wide, like a brim, so like a decent size opening, and it's deep enough to be able to fit like your full hand in it.
So it's like a pouch.
Yeah, like a mini pouch pocket. You could call it like a.
Okay.
It's like decent size, yeah, like a mini pouch, but it's a pocket. And the pocket would also, depending on where you put it, would be like either probably smaller. Like that's the maximum size I would say you can make it. But if you're putting it on like a piece of armor, like your chest plate or something like that, like it would be like the size of, a breast pocket on a button down or something like that. So it'll definitely depend on what you're putting it on. But maximum size is about like a pouch size.
I was just going to try to just center myself by making a little water feature out of the bark, because I would make little pockets out of the bark as the water would flow down, and as they would overflow, I would make another pocket and just make another pocket to just essentially test the boundaries of it, but also just to run a little experiment, because if the pockets themselves are made out of bark, would they be porous or not? Kind of thing.
Okay, so good question. So the pocket is made of bark. It's basically an extension of it, but it's more of a moldable bark, or like a lightweight where you can, like a pocket, like it expands, like you can put your hand in it, type thing. So it's still made of bark, but it's I guess you could say almost thinner in a sense. It is still porous, but it takes a while after the pocket gets filled, for it to start seeping through. Because a bark will eventually soak up, and then it'll just have too much, so it expels.
That's all Pax is doing. Just basically the testing his limits as far as that's concerned. Just trying to relax.
Yeah, but these trees and bark have pockets now, like lots of them. You got lots of pockets everywhere. So if you ever come back to this island, you got pockets. Pocket Island. Okay, so what are the rest of you doing?
As I'm freaking out and eventually get semi-clean, being of my pirate nature, would I be able to help on the ship?
On like recreating it?
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. You definitely know what would go into repairing and building a ship. The things that it would definitely need, the small little comforts you might want to add. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, through the week, I'd actually love to discuss that, and we can build a sketch of how you want to build the ship, since you're gonna be helping out. And we can get the
Oh,
different levels and things like that, and
yeah, for sure.
we'll set up a little picture and thing like that for everybody to be able to see what you made, or whatever what
Fantastic.
you guys created.
Time to boot up Sea of Thieves for some ideas.
That being said, though, uh, we will cut it. We're going to be going to about 11, so we'll cut it here, give or take, if unless anybody has something they would like to do. But yeah, we got a little bit of a late start, and I apologize for that to my players and also to all of you viewers out there. I know our first time back is a little short, but we'll be back full swing. We're coming back. So that being said, if anybody has anything they'd like to do before we sign off, we'll do that. Levy, go ahead.
Yes, so while everything is happening, I myself don't know much about ships. I'd like to find a nice. First, I'd like to see if I can find some scrap canvas that is not being used for the ship, uh, for like a tarp of sorts. And I would like to find somewhere a little bit from the camp, but where it's still in a distance, and I have a good vantage point for keeping an eye on the area, um, for while everyone is sleeping, and so that I myself am not visible while sleeping.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
The tarp is simple enough.
Okay. 19.
Okay. So not too far from where everyone is, from the main camp. You start to wander up the hills and like into that area, and you find this little. We'll call it an alcove because it's not really a cave. It's not like deep or anything.
A little foxhole.
Kind of like a foxhole, yeah. Yeah, it's just enough for you to be able to like have a little bit of cover from the rain, and it's not super high or anything, but it's it's high enough to be able to have a good view and be
Okay.
out of the way.
Um, before I leave, I will glance back and say, I'll be keeping an eye on everything. I'll be back in the morning. And it's very clear to read on Levy's face she does not want to be followed.
Well, just make sure you keep your wits about you. I'll work on this with everybody else.
Nod. Get on Sylvie.
Okay. Anyone else?
Pax would also put in his 2 cents about the construction of the ship,
Okay.
making sure that the ballast is correct, compensation for the weight of the critters, and whatnot.
I imagine like Pax and Flicker trying to work on something, and Pax is just like pointing fingers and shit, and Flicker's like has that temple throb, and then Pax goes to like touch something, and I like smack his hand, like I know what I'm doing. I've been on the sea for a very long time.
But all I'm saying is we need an alternate source of power. We cannot just rely on the wind the whole time.
Well, the winds, I'm sure Ludwin can compensate for power or anything. Just let me focus on my area, please.
Fine. Other than that, I would make another Litecoin, and just probably curl up in Telemonus's saddle and fall asleep.
Okay.
Calaia is throwing a stick for Finn, an unnamed bone T-Rex.
Okay.
You could just call him No Name.
No name.
Oh, I got it. You know how Toothless is toothless? Call him Skinless.
Hate it.
Fleshless.
I hate
I
it.
hate it.
Don't like
Now that
She said
now
that
that
with
I-
a smile, like she has
now,
a
now
huge
that I
smile
said it out,
expression.
now that I said it out loud, no, I don't like that either. But during the progress of working on the ship, Flicker would eventually need to sleep, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, I think that's where we'd all end up. But yeah, throwing stick for Finn and nameless.
Okay. Yeah, so you see them fight over the stick a little bit every once in a while. But they're quite content running back and forth. Okay, so we'll say everybody can obviously take a long rest.
Whoop.
So we'll pick up where it'll be after the long rest. We'll have like a brief thing next week if there's anything anyone would like to do when they wake up. Otherwise, we'll just cut to where the point where the ship's done and y'all are ready to go. Okay, so we got a lot to look forward to next week, and over this week, I'm excited to build this ship with Flicker. I've been
It's
waiting
gonna
for
be great.
this.
I have
Yeah.
a few ideas.
Yeah, I've been
I already
waiting
sent
for
you a
it.
message too, so.
If you,
Oh, dope.
if you put the diagram as a handout for us on Roll20, I could put it on the stream.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have it as a map also.
Okay, cool.
Because you'll be on the ship for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do it as a handout too, though, just so you have constant access to it and things like that. Cool. All right. Yes. So that being said, we'll pick up next. Oop.
I have an announcement I want to say real quick.
Okay. Yeah. 1 second. I just want to give a huge thanks to Sirenscape for allowing us to use their sounds and music and wonderful awesomeness. They're really, honestly, absolutely fantastic. Um, they really set the mood, in my opinion. I love it. I love having all these different things in my headset, and hopefully, you guys, all of you, get immersed as much as I do, I should say. Um, yeah, and the amount of customization and different things you can do with it is just super awesome. Their online beta is what we're using for everybody. So you have individual control over the volumes you set for yourselves in your own game, or however, even if you just use it as background music when you're reading or drawing or whatever you're doing. It's freaking awesome. Definitely worth a subscription, but I do believe they have a free access as well. Um, but the paid subscription is absolutely worth it. Every penny. Um, yeah, it's freaking awesome. Thank you guys, and go ahead, Miguel.
So as you know, I've been trying to keep up on streams with various video games and of the like. Um, I came to the conclusion that Resident Evil 4 is just not enough at the moment. It's outdated. Granted, it's fun in its own right, but it's outdated. I will be skipping the rest of Resident Evil 4 on the gaming stream. I heard talks that there was going to be a remake of Resident Evil 4. So if that happens, then I will play it. But for now, I'm going to skip towards 5. And the lovely Daisy, Levy,
That's me.
will be joining me as my co op partner. So you'll have 2 hosts for the next few streams, including when we get to Resident Evil 6, because that's also multiplayer. Um, so yeah, I will be having a co-host for the next few streams on Resident Evil
Awesome,
5,
awesome, super
and that will
awesome.
be starting Monday. Daisy, I will get the game for you this weekend.
You got it, dude.
Dope.
I can't wait to teach you all about it.
Fuck off.
I mean, if I were everybody, I can't wait to make Daisy and Miguel beatbox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be segments. Show Daisy how to beatbox. Daisy, go.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Everybody save up your nerd bucks. This is gonna be good.
Oh god.
Uh, I'm so excited. Um, one last quick thing. As for all the rest of our campaigns, and things like that, I just want to give everybody a heads up. We might not stream everything anymore. At least this is to the viewers. As far as when we will be going back into Strahd, I'm not sure if we'll stream that or just keep that, as a home game. Reason being, I put a lot of thought into this, but I'm not set on it. We'll see what happens when we get back into Strahd. We only just started picking back up single sessions for now. But reason being, we were streaming so much, we got exhausted, and I think we should just pull it back a little bit. But I also would like to give that decision to the viewers. And I know I've discussed it with my players, but I'll get their input again before we make a final decision. But you guys at home, I would love to know if you want to join us back in Strahd when we pick that back up, and Heart of the Wild, and whatever other campaigns. I don't. Whenever we pick up back up Icewind Dale, I don't know if we'll be streaming that. I
I
know
have,
Miguel,
I have,
you're still working
yeah,
on.
I have
Yeah.
more Candlekeep coming out as
Yeah.
somewhat of not a constant campaign, but whenever like my schedule's full, I have 3 kids, I work, shit like that. Um, I'm almost done with the next part.
Okay.
There's just a few more things I need to do, but Candlekeep is going to be a semi-constant campaign to where the characters are going to be the same, but of course it's the Candlekeep mystery, so it's different settings every time, and shit like that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, if you guys don't mind, everyone that's here in this party right now is part of the Candlekeep mysteries. So if you guys don't care, I would gladly love to stream it for everybody.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I was
Sure,
gonna ask that, and yeah.
So, to reference everything, if you're just watching us for the first time, uh, all of these previous campaigns that we're talking about are available to view on our YouTube, which I will put in the chat. It's Natural Nerds is our channel name. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. And I'm excited to get back into Candlekeep. That was super fun. I miss playing Bon. I am making a small edit to him, but it's fine. Um, yeah, and I'm really excited to get back to Icewind Dale whenever that happens. Again, we'll discuss if we're gonna be streaming what campaigns and things like that. They'll probably end up staying on the same days that they were. So Strahd was on Saturday, late night Eastern time. And Icewind Dale was on Sunday. Heart of the Wild was on every other Tuesday. Um, so we'll keep you guys updated. We'll make Facebook posts, Twitter, yada yada, all that good stuff, and let you know where we're at and what's going to be up and coming.
We're back, baby. We're
We are,
fucking back.
we are.
All the excitement.
Yeah. Oh, and for those of you joining us for the first time, if you're curious of War of the Plains and what it is and based on, it's a Magic the Gathering lore for the most part. Various things are switched and edited by me for storyline and things like that for purpose. Currently, they're on the plane of Ixalan. Um, be sure to go check out the first episode, which we did end up getting to stream. Very first session we did, and session 0, so you can learn a little bit about the characters and see where we've come so far. And I'll speak for myself here. I'm super excited to get back into this and have you all join us on this epic journey. Thank you guys. Thank you all. Thank you, players. I love you very much. I love all of you, everyone at home. This is awesome. I'll see you next week. And don't stay natural, you
Our
nerds.
putties.
Stay natural, you nerds.
natural, you nerds.
Stay
Yeah.
natural, you nerds.
You nerds!